This is the story of the oldest person to qualify for the Classic Tetris World Championships in probably one of the most memorable moments in the competitive scene's history. So, for a little context, the tournament is normally held in Portland, Oregon, but this year, due to, 2020, it's being held online. Right now they're in the middle of the qualifying phase, where players will try to post the highest scores possible to determine their seeding in the bracket. And the cool thing is that unlike in years past, where it was all done in person and only a handful of players ever got recorded, this year everyone's streaming their individual qualifying sessions to Twitch. So fans have enjoyed being able to hop on the stream of their favorite player and cheer them on as they try to get a max out, or as many max outs as possible, which is the highest score you can get on an unmodified version of NES Tetris. But the really cool thing is that this has also given the community an opportunity to take a look at some of the relatively unknown players who don't normally get a spotlight. And one of those unknown players was Anna D, who was brand new to the scene. She had never competed in any Classic Tetris tournament before, having a lifetime record of 0-0, and was scheduled to qualify Tuesday morning. And when she started her stream and began playing, something unusual was immediately apparent. She built for Tetrises using the left well, a strategy that had been dismissed by the community as suboptimal 10 years ago.
I actually noticed that Harry builds on the left side, which is interesting.
I find that to be
You mean you leave your...
We said it was unacceptable to the left?
I would not do that.
So why is the left well a disadvantage? Because the line piece spins with a bias towards the right, by the time you reach the speed of level 19, a line piece can get over a 9-row high right well, but only a 6-row high left well, and that's with perfect timing on the delayed auto shift. If you're even just a little bit off, the barrier for a line piece clearing the left well can easily be as low as 5 or even 4, a razor thin margin for getting Tetrises. Virtually every top player in the scene uses a right well. But despite playing with this significant handicap, anyone watching Anna's stream quickly noticed that she was good. Like, really good. She would consistently start at level 18 and transition to level 19 in the mid 500,000s. Well on pace to max out the score before level 29, which is so fast that it usually ends the game. At one point, she even transitioned with 638,000. Any of the top players in the world would be thrilled to have such a score at that point in the game. But the left well left her so little room for error that she would continually get put in insanely difficult situations to get out of just a few levels after transitioning. She showed impressive resilience in almost escaping several hairy situations, but she always seemed to top out shortly afterwards. But then, one game, she didn't. After transitioning to level 19 with 602,000, she continued to get Tetrises at a furious rate, and by midway through level 24, she had a staggering 817,000 with 4.5 levels to go until level 29. This was well beyond a max out pace. And to put it into perspective, Anna said later that she previously hadn't watched any of the World Championship matches before tuning into a single live stream this summer, and that she didn't even know there was a significant difference between the right and left wells because no one had told her otherwise. She was effectively just about as much in the dark on strategy as players in the first World Championships had been in 2010, before there was widespread knowledge on all the best practices. And only 3 people competing at the time had maxed out ever. For most years of the tournaments, no more than a single person had maxed out in qualifying, and for the past 2 years after the recent explosion of players, the number had still been no more than 7. And here Anna was on the verge of getting a max out herself. Unfortunately, that misdrop did things in, and a max out wasn't in the cards, but she finished with 850,000, almost 200,000 points above the cutoff score from any other year.
Oh my gosh, Mike, I think that could qualify me. Oh, I'm shaking again. That's bad. The reason my first games were so terrible is that I was shaking so much.
News of her score immediately began circulating around the community. Nobody had expected an unknown player to put up such a strong performance, especially with a left well. But there were hints that she might not have been completely in the dark on strategy, and that she might have a mentor. At several points throughout her qualifier, her uncle walked around behind her, who she said would be qualifying himself the very next day. And as I excitedly tuned in the next day to see what her uncle would do, I was not prepared for what I was about to see.
Hey! Huh? How about that, folks? Not gonna see that every day.
That's what I was telling Alexi. I should get more points when I clear those Tetrises higher up.
This is Uncle Mike. He is a fearless man when it comes to playing Tetris. He would stack to the sky and somehow get out of things over and over, even though he was only flipping the pieces in one direction, which often resulted in airtight last-minute rotations.
Oh, see, and it almost tried to flip it again. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
As the viewers poured in, the scope of the competitive scene began to dawn on Anna and Mike.
I never realized how much of a thing this was.
I still have no idea how big a thing it is. Although, as I said, back in the old days, when there were only a few posted scores better than mine, and now obviously a lot more people play.
All I know is my dad called me on the phone once I think it was 2018, to tell me that it was on ESPN. And I was really surprised.
Huh.
Oh my gosh, the winner of this gets $3,000.
Ooh, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not even in it for the fame. I'm really just in it to keep my old hands from succumbing to arthritis before their time.
So the average age of competitors in the scene has skewed younger and younger over the years, with the absolute upper limit being players in their early 40s. At 59, Mike was by far the oldest player to ever have seriously attempted to compete.
There's a competition named Classic Tetris Gangs, and one of them is geezers you could join.
Oh, I'm so glad I got in this tournament. You see what happens when you network?
Someone said Jonas is 62.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be watching the board for you, Jonas. I'll be watching that leaderboard.
Wait, Mike, do you know who Jonas is?
Should I?
Jonas is the really good guy. The one we thought was from Germany, but he's actually from California.
No, he's not that old.
No, they said he's 38 or 39.
I was going to say, he didn't look that old.
Apparently it's just a meme.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Jonas.
Yeah, I've seen you play. You're good. Kind of like Anna.
They said 2 years ago, a Spanish commentator made up facts about Jonas, and then a news source actually published them.
Oh, okay.
That reminds me of the Borat theme song.
Oh, yes. Oh, tell the fans about the Borat theme song. If they don't know it, they really should know. You're about to become culturally illiterate, folks.
For those of you who have seen Borat, or at least know of it, there's a song that they made up about Kazakhstan in the movie, and then there is a professional figure skating competition that actually played it as the Kazakhstan national anthem.
That is news worth knowing about.
I was curious in the chat if Mike had been the one to get Anna into Tetris.
I don't think I introduced her. She probably just walked in while I was playing.
Oh, that's true, because it was at Nana's house.
Yeah, I think it was at Grandma's.
So whenever Mike came home for the holidays,
I locked myself away in that back room, and
because we didn't used to have a nest at Mike's. It was only at my grandparents' house. So every time he came home to visit, he'd get so excited to play that my brother and I would be so excited to watch him. We'd sit back there for hours watching him play Tetris and Mario and Captain Skyhawk. I remember I would go to school and tell all my friends that you could beat Mario, and none of them ever knew what I was talking about because they didn't know what an NES was.
Yeah, see, this is that cultural literacy, Anna. Cultural literacy.
Afterwards, I was wondering how they had even found out about the tournament to qualify in the first place.
How did you learn about this? You don't just Google Tetris tournaments one day. That's absurd.
I think that's what I did. The other alternative is I remember looking for like Tetris high scores, and Twin Galaxies came up. I like the fact that they have a max out that lets you feel good about the game once you get to a certain point.
Did you think they were real at first?
No. No, I thought that there was something like world jumps in Super Mario Brothers or some kind of a gimmick, because I didn't think anybody could, because I was scoring 500,000, and all of a sudden there are people doubling that.
Over the course of the 2-hour stream, Anna and Mike got a crash course from the viewers about a ton of the quirks of NES Tetris, including the answers to some questions they had wondered about for years.
Is 29 when it gets even faster?
Does it? I don't know. And no, Alexi knows, but no.
Apparently that's called the kill screen. I can see why. I think I've gotten 5 lines after that.
Oh, 5. Wow. Yeah, I could see how one could get 3 lines and then 4 You get one more after
I always
that.
wondered that. They say it never goes any faster after that.
Well, there you go. Well, as I say, even if it does, it's no human being would know.
Apparently there's one person who can play there.
Huh.
World record is 124 lines
Oh,
after 29
okay.
by a person named Eric.
A human person?
I'm guessing he's a human person.
Well, ordinarily I would agree with you, but you've offered some contradictory evidence.
And Mike was incredibly receptive to all the advice he was given for his own games. More than just a left well, he had a tendency to put the well left, right, center, wherever he felt like.
I am going to try and learn to do more with the right, since everybody seems to think that's a good idea. And I'm not the kind of person that can't learn.
And every so often, the stream would turn into story time.
Tell them your story about when you turned off the next box. Someone just asked how you would do with that off.
It seemed like the pace was normal, and I could see what the pieces were and where I wanted them to go, but I just was not able to get them where I wanted to on time, and I was thinking I'm having a stroke. I honestly thought I was having a stroke because, it's... And I didn't realize it was because I didn't see what was coming and I lost all the advanced planning time. But it just shows that you're doing all that subconsciously.
By the end of the stream, Mike and Anna were already setting their sights on attending in person next year.
Well, now that Anna's posted a worthwhile score, we're going to do a crowdfund to see if...
We're not crowdfunding.
Oh. All right, I'll take you to Portland.
I can take you to Portland. I have a job now, Mike.
Yeah, better one than I ever had.
So Mike's personal goal for the stream was 500,000. So far, his best score of the day had been 349,000. It was all going to come down to his final game.
Oh.
Oh.
Sad.
Ah. Well, that's it, folks. Yeah.
But as Mike and Anna had said earlier on in the stream, it wouldn't be all for long.
Someone asked if we'd be interested in participating year-round in tournaments.
In...
Tournaments.
Oh, bien sûr. That's French for of course.
Yes, I think we're both interested. It's a lot of fun.
What's not to like? Well, we will be playing more online Tetris now that I have a Discord account and a Twitch account.
So if you want to see Mike and Anna's future streams, cause I know I do, these are both of their Twitch pages. And that's not all. There's also a film that Mike was proud to be part of.
Mike is an award-winning film director.
I was a final editing consultant. I am in the credits, and it's on YouTube. Just look for Mike Dursey on YouTube and it should come up.
So if you want to check out Mike's film, I'll have a link to that in the description too. Overall, throughout watching Mike and Anna's stream, it's clear that Tetris is a special passion that they've been able to share over the years.
She seems to play a lot better when I give her something to
That
erase.
is true. Genuinely, if he puts up a score, then I'm determined to take it off.
And I find it really cool that the internet has made it possible for them to become part of a worldwide community that also shares that exact same passion. Anna has a shot at making the main bracket this year, and Mike, of course, is still in the running for the semi-pro one. You can follow along all week with the online leaderboards, which I'll also link below. However it turns out, I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.